Greetings everybody, we're here in Kirinyaga, a beautiful coffee region in Kenya, visiting our friend Simon in his estate Njemo. Simon, would you like to introduce yourself?
Thank you. Welcome to Njemo Estate. Njemo Estate is in Kirinyaga County, located in the Shrubs of Mount Kenya. It's about 1,700 meters above sea level, where you have land volcanic soils suitable for coffee growing. Njemo Estate is derived from my two sons. The first son is Njero, the second son is Mushiri. That's why I named the estate after my two sons. I've worked as an agronomist for the past 30 years until I retired in 2005. Previously, I used to deliver my coffee to the cooperative societies until 2005 when I decided to do the pumping on my own.
So it's been 15 years more or less that you decided to just take care of all your coffee from trees to parchment.
To parchment, yes. Yes.
Okay. So you were an agronomist for the government?
I worked for the government parastatal for over 30 years.
30 years.
And I retired as a chief head of agronomy.
Chief head of an agronomy.
Yes.
What was your specialty? Was it coffee?
Both coffee and tea. Yes.
Nothing better to become an exceptional coffee farmer. I see beautiful trees here. This is SL28, yeah?
This is SL28.
100% SL28.
28. This portion has about 450 trees with the SL28. It's 5 years old.
Very strong tree for only 5 years, huh?
The production this year I expect about 15 kilograms per tree. 15
kilograms, knowing that the Kenyan average is 3 kilograms of cherry per tree, you managed to do 5 times more. Yes. What's your secret? How do you manage?
By next year I want to go 25 to 30. I want to apply my agronomy, which I trained and I worked for, because I'm now doing it practically in my farm. Yes.
Was your father a coffee farmer as well?
My father was both coffee and tea farmer, and I also learned a passion from him. So when I was young, I used to do both tea and coffee. So when I inherited part of my father's small estate, I continued, although I started expanding other areas. Yes.
So you're the second generation?
I'm the second generation. My sons are third generation, and I've got a granddaughter who is also passionate to farming.
So Njemo Estate is here to stay?
It's here to stay.
Your legacy as a coffee farmer is guaranteed?
Correct.
It's very nice to hear, because in Kenya, unfortunately, one of the reasons of the production of coffee decreasing every year is that the farmers' kids are not necessarily interested in coffee. You know? So we have to find a way to make coffee more attractive for the younger generation to join in and help maintaining that industry. Because Kenyan coffee is one of the best, is precious. We need to save it.
Yes, my daughters have also developed interest to coffee farming. So we have decided to incorporate them into the farming. Yes. When they have planted this one, where they saw their mother has also a passion in the coffee. Yes.
So tell us about the farming practices. So what is it that you do to manage to have 15 kilo of cherries per tree, and to have as well a quality generally at least above 86, 87 points?
Being an agronomist, I do not do assumption. The first thing, of all my plots, I take the soil samples to Coffee Research Foundation for analysis, who will give recommendations of the types of fertilizers to use. Then from there, I make sure I apply timely. Timely application of farm inputs is very important. The other issue is pruning. Pruning, if you don't do it correctly, you will not get the actual production. Take for example, you see this branch. Yes. This branch, you see there is no crop. This is the one which you have the fruits next year. I make sure every primary, there are at least four tertiaries which produce next year. Yes? So I'm assured by next year you can see all this area. There will be heavy crop. By the time this tree is 7 years old, it will go up to 35.
35 kilograms.
Yes. But make sure you give the proper nutrition for you to get the light in berry, to get the right in bean is very important.
Those beans are beautiful. You in your harvest process, yeah?
A and B, you constitute up to 80%. Yes.
80% A, B. That's very impressive. And so you use a single stem?
I use a single stem for young trees. But when I do the cycle change, I don't go to multiple. Yes.
So single stem, then...
after the cycle, I do multiple. Why? By that time, the root system will have well developed to support the multiple stems.
That makes sense. Especially SL28 have a very good root system, yes? So, for how many years do you stay in single stem?
7 years.
7 years single stem?
Single stem. Then I will start changing. What I don't do, I remove the branches from this side to give light, to stimulate the shooting of the other stems. Then when they are about 1 year, I remove the whole branch and remain with the two stems, which will be giving you good production.
I understand as well from my previous visit, you're telling me you try to use no chemical on your farm.
Yes.
So can you tell us about that? Because we know in Kenya the tradition is using a lot of chemical.
The moment you use maybe particularly on winding, there are some pests or microorganisms which are already living in the soil. That herbicides, those like earthworms, they are very good for turning the soil,
aerating the soil.
aerating the soil. And also, when you put in manure, farming and manure, it encourages the good environment for those soil microorganisms, which are very good. Yes. Now, when it comes now to harvesting, be very careful not to use some harmful pesticides, because that will go straight to the cup. Yes. So the moment coffee is ready for picking, you don't use any pesticide.
I see. Well, thank you very much, Njemu. Before we go having a walk around your farm, would anything you'd like to share with our friends watching that video?
Yes.
Any successes or challenges you may have as a coffee farmer?
The major challenges which we have, particularly here in Kenya, is the cost of labor, the cost of the farm inputs, and an reliable market. If these things can be addressed, I think the farmer will be very happy. For example, labor. You know, in Kenya, have got the strongest, I think, labor movement in the world. Labor movement in Kenya is, to the union, is very strong. Yeah? They keep on agitating for hiking. When the prices of maybe your produce are not hiking, cost of inputs are also going up. So if you can have a subsidy, yes, of maybe of those farm inputs, then we can get good prices for our coffee. I think the business will continue. But if the prices are not going up, that means I will abandon the farming, because where shall I get the money to pump into the farm?
Exactly. Well, knowing your farming practices, I've been cupping your coffee over the last few years. It's scored in general around 87, 88. And as well, I understand you don't have a relationship buyer. You don't have a buyer that buys your coffee every year.
I don't have one, but if it can have one buyer, we can have an agreement. Maybe 10, 20 years, 50 years, Gem will continue. Yes, not necessarily me, but the third, fourth generation will still run in Gemu. So once I got a good relationship with a buyer, we are ready to enter for an agreement.
Well, we hope that video will help to find you the right buyer, to develop a long-term, strong relationship, to promote your work and the work of your family.
I like it, yes.
Thank you so much for your time today, Mr. Njemu.
Welcome.
I call you Mr. Njemu because we know each other. We'll be coming back probably during harvest to see a bit of more of the picking. How much have you picked so far?
Picked about 20 something, I can check. Yes.
But we're still in the first quarter of the harvest, yeah?
30, 40%.
Ah, okay. All right.
And got maybe over 70% still to pick. Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Njemu. And maybe we can go have a walk on your farm now. And let's go see your washing station as well. Thank you.
You can go through here. Welcome now to Gemu washing station. After coffee leaves the farm, it is brought here, weighed, then I do what we do flotation to get what is not needed. Then a proper cherries, I do the pumping there. I soak the first line of the soak tanks. Then from there I do the mid wash to the second tanks. Then after that one, I do after maybe 48 hours to 72, depending on the temperatures, I do the final wash and grading. After that one, P1 and P2, I do the soaking in the soak tanks for overnight. Then from there, I take it down there for skin drying. From the skin drying, when I remove the skin drying, I bring it to here in these tables for final drying. I make sure I dry it to about 11% moisture content. After it attains that moisture, I remove it and take it to the conditioning bins, awaiting transport to the mills. That's the brief of what the operation which I do here. Thank you for visiting my farm. And I'm very grateful for sparing time to visit my farm and my washing station. And I welcome you to come back again. Anytime you are welcome. Thank you very much. And I wish you a good journey back to Nairobi.